Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the after show portion of the Big Apple School podcast, where we were talking about ceremonies and cultures and celebrations. So I promised us that we would speak about our personal experiences with weddings. So let's spill the beans. What weddings have you been to, Katya?
Well, my stories are kind of boring because all of them were in Russia and at the beginning of the 2000s. So it was very cringy if you look at the photos now and everything. Because in Russia, we have some sort of like traditions which are so weird. So basically, the first thing is that the bride is somewhere in her house, and she's hidden, and the groom has to pay money to kind of buy her out of it. And then, there are some stupid sort of tests that he has to take, take each letter, and name a quality that your fiance has for each letter, like A, adorable, stuff like that. And usually it's all done in the hallways, or as we call it, подъезд. And usually they're so ugly and, just dilapidated. You're like, Jesus. So, yeah. And that was back in the day that the main reason people went to weddings was to get drunk. So there were a lot of drunk people. I had nothing to do because I was like 11, 12 years old. And I was like, oh my God, when is this going to end? And did I have to go actually? So not really fun. That was my cousins getting married.
Cool. Yeah, but Russian weddings are quite an event, actually. They're quite fun.
Very awful. Well, they used to be at least. And in some of the smaller towns, they still are. I have a question before we move to the other experiences. Why do you think so many marriages end in divorce? Because in Russia, in Novosibirsk region, the statistics is that for every 100 marriages, there are 90 divorces. 90.
In Novosibirsk?
In Novosibirsk.
Wow.
So 90% of people get married and then get a divorce.
Maybe just out of a sense of obligation, a sense of duty. I think it's a big part of Russian culture where women feel a lot of pressure to get married, don't they?
Might be.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be like, the clock is ticking.
Yeah, and in the West, it's much less so. I mean, maybe you could say that there are some remnants of this. Would you say so,
I think
Vara?
there's a fantasy about being married because you're going to have the picket fence. You're going to have the house and the kids, and you're going to have everything. Your dream is going to come true. And I think when you get stuck in some fantasy and then there you are in the reality, I'd get a divorce, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the definition of marriage is kind of changing in a way.
Yeah.
Almost.
Maybe I have been thinking about this actually a lot. And people in the past, if they have something of value, for example, they have a glass and this glass was a gift. The glass breaks down and what do? The people in the past, they fix it. They buy glue and fix it. But nowadays they buy
That's a good
new
metaphor.
one. Yes, they buy a new one. So it's the same thing for people nowadays became spoiled, and with all this social media, vulnerabilities, like you feel like you have many choices, like you don't care. Like if something happens, okay, I'm gonna break up and
I like
get
your
divorced.
point so much.
Yeah,
really.
get divorced and they move to the next person. They end up with psychological problems, of course, because dating a lot of people. And,
I mean, in the first place, the very moment that difficulties come, and people are like, oh, you know what, we need to break up is a bit immature in the first place.
Exactly.
So if you're in a fantasy and you don't realize what responsibility is, or you haven't talked about how many children do you want? I don't want any children. I didn't know that. Or some kind of, if you're allergic to animals, well, I've got 3 dogs. What are you going to do? Me or the dogs? You've got to be talking about
absolutely
communication
is key.
Yeah, we said at the same time communication. There is a book actually, I forgot its name, about communication. It helped a lot of people.
There are hundreds of those.
No, but this one is actually a bestseller, and I remember. I'm gonna tell you the title later.
Okay, deal.
What do you think about marriage counseling? Do you think that it works?
I mean, therapy works in general. I still believe that every single person should get a therapy at some point.
Yes, to pick your brains,
same
as we say in English. Yeah.
As I've mentioned in one of the podcasts, watch the reel and the girl's like, when I'm getting rich, you're getting therapy, you're getting therapy, you're getting double therapy. Everyone healing. That's my idea.
Well, how many divorces happen immediately after marriage in Russia? Is it a frequent thing, like in Vegas?
Well, I think a lot of divorces happen within the 2 years after the marriage.
So that's pretty
statistically again.
Yeah, pretty quick divorce.
So I don't know much about the other facts of the statistics.
So I think in Vegas, in Nevada, you can get divorced after 3 weeks. Legally, I believe that is. Yeah.
To be annulled, right?
Yes, to be annulled. And it's pretty
that
cheap.
Means that it was never, as though you were never married.
Yes.
I've seen this, again, in videos about the US, and people like, we're going to stay married just because the divorce is so expensive. Is that so?
Yeah.
Because in Russia, you can get a divorce for free,
Depends on what you want out of the divorce settlement. You have to get a good lawyer if there's something to divide.
Yeah, you need lawyers for everything in America. And I guess in England to a lesser extent, but also yes.
I have a question to you, Benjamin.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, you have attended a Russian wedding.
Yes, I have. In a small village. It was amazing. It was a funny
It was at the German village in Russia, right?
Exactly.
Oh, tell us all about it.
It was called Galbstadt, which is really interesting because I did not picture that there would be a German village next to the Kazakh border in the middle of Siberia. But it's really interesting. They have German buildings, I would say. Yeah, German architecture. And they make sausages in this small village, and some people even speak German. There's a local German school, tiny village in the middle of nowhere. And for those of you who are familiar with the area, it's nearby Lake Yarovoye, which is next to the Kazakh border.
Not far.
Yeah. Really funny wedding. People got absolutely wasted, and they had a presenter who led the event, and
we call him Tamanda.
Tamanda, yeah. And this Tamanda, or presenter, did a good job of the event. and they had this really funny event where they made me wear women's knickers, which was really funny. Is that a tradition in most Russian weddings where they make a guy wear a bra and knickers?
I don't know.
It was really funny. So,
maybe I erased it from my memory as some traumatic experience. I don't know, but...
But basically, maybe they were just laughing at the British guy.
These presenters, their imagination run wild.
I was thinking like this.
Yeah. And they had all sorts of food. It was amazing. And I felt kind of bad because they freshly slaughtered the food, the meat for the wedding. But that's meat.
Village,
yeah. And it was really horrible because they had pigs. So they took us to the house. They had pigs, and they had a mangal, which is the Russian barbecue, and they freshly killed one of the pigs, and then all the other pigs smelt their brother on the barbecue, and I
think this would be the day I became vegan.
Insane, yeah. I really did think about it in that moment. These poor pigs were just making all this noise, knowing that.
Aww.
It's not healthy on the barbecue. Like that. It's not healthy like that. If you make research about it, if you eat that meat immediately, it's a bit toxic, because it still has blood.
Yeah.
Whether it's, for example, in our tradition, like when we have that ceremony of, we call it Eid Adha. It's the sacrifice celebration. So when we slaughter the sheep, we don't eat it immediately. We need to wait for 1 day.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we skin it and we hang it for 1 day. So that the blood drops out from it completely.
Mm-hmm.
And when this happens, then you can eat it. So this is what is the word halal. You can go outside. So this is the meat of halal. But they when I made research about it, it says yes, if you eat something with blood in it, it is still a bit toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And doesn't the head of the animal have to face Mecca when it's been slaughtered?
Yeah.
And then it has a prayer read to it or something. Yeah.
But not it is Islamic prayer, but prayer about Abraham.
Yeah.
Of course,
the
messenger Abraham.
Yeah. So I know some of us might be vegetarians. I know.
Yeah.
After this story, especially.
Yeah. It is quite a brutal reality how meat is made. So you do need to think about what you eat before you buy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in this village, they were really old school. They
I bet.
cooked a pig next to the pigs, and it was just pretty brutal. But I was really thankful that they invited me into their house and that they invited me to see their local tradition, and it was quite fun. I mean, sorry for the pig, but yeah, it was quite a fun quite a fun event. So what about other events? Have you been to any big weddings?
I went to a wedding that instead of being all in white, everyone was in black. So that was kind of very trendy in the 1990s.
Ominous, no?
Well, it may seem that way, but it was very trendy. It was very, a trendy type.
Fancy.
And then another wedding I went to, two girls were getting married, different weddings, but they were in competition. And so I got to see this competition between them, and I didn't like that.
Yeah.
And I felt sorry for them.
Yeah.
For me, I attended a lot of weddings, but I stopped attending by the age of 24, maybe. Yeah, 24. But it was all about my relatives. And to be honest with you, I don't like to be invited in such ceremonies. I don't like that fuss, you know. I just like something like the birthday, like something quiet, like focus, Because, for example, I don't like dancing, and sometimes they make you dance against your will.
Yes.
I hate it, really. I really hate it. So, yeah. But on the other hand, there were like wonderful times. You see all the family together for the first time in many years, and you have some chats with them, to get to know them, like some far relatives. So, yeah, that's cool.
Nice.
Have you guys experienced any sort of, or celebrated any sort of holidays, traditions, or something like that in Russia? All three of you.
Well, I've went to an Easter. I went to church on Easter, which was quite
you've
interesting.
been to a church?
Yeah, my wife's parents invited me over.
Interesting.
And the batyushka, the priest, I guess we could say in English, he went around sprinkling holy water on everyone. But I was really upset because the water didn't get sprinkled on me. And the other funny thing was in the church, I heard the priest. It was freezing. It was April, Siberia, pretty cold, and everyone was waiting outside for the event to start. And I went inside the church just to see what it was like, and I heard someone say 30 minutes, so 30 minutes. So I went outside and I said, this old lady said, when is it starting? And I said, I think it's starting in 30 minutes. And then and then all of a sudden the batyusha came out and started sprinkling water on everyone, and the event started. And she said, why did you say it's going to be in 30 minutes? I was going to go back to my car to stay warm. Why did you say that? And I said, I'm sorry. I must have misunderstood. I'm not Russian. I'm sorry.
So Easter.
They got a bit angry at me, the local babushki.
Well.
Yeah.
That was at the church, so they should have forgiven you,
Yeah. And also I noticed that when I went inside the church, I saw all these people staring at the beautiful pictures on the wall. And I thought, beautiful pictures of religious figures. And I would look at a picture for maybe a minute and really analyze it. But these people were looking at the pictures for 10 minutes or longer. And I thought, wait, what's going on here? Am I missing something? Why is everyone staring at these pictures? And it turns out that that's how people pray
in St. Petersburg.
Eastern culture,
I saw people kissing the glass, and then there'd be this special cleaning lady who'd come and wipe off. And I stood there to watch what was going on, and I went up to the glass to say, are there lip marks on there? And there really were lip marks. They really do kiss the glass.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have the cleaning lady.
Yes, the professional wiper. So yeah, no, it was interesting because in the West, typically, well, at least Christians, they put their hands together to pray. And in Russia, it's not done like that, is it?
Nope.
So you just look at a icon and
you just stay quietly, yeah.
Yes.
For me, unfortunately, I haven't celebrated some Russian celebrations, but I'm looking forward for the Scarlet Sales. This is how we call them, like Scarlet Sales.
Yeah.
In St. Petersburg. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I celebrated the New Year, but I don't consider it as a Russian thing because it's international.
Yeah,
but I haven't seen since I came in October. I think I haven't celebrated anything.
There
else.
are actually not many things that we celebrate.
But I'm really looking forward for Scarlet Sales. I really like it.
New Year, they really take it seriously here.
New Year.
Yeah.
Well, there will be Maslenitsa.
Yes, but I love the translation, Butter Lady.
Butter Lady. So it's
Butter
basically
Lady
how
Festival.
we greet or, celebrate the end of winter and the beginning of the spring by burning this huge, Benjamin, help me out. What do we call this?
Wait, which thing?
The
menorah.
The menorah. No.
No, that's Jewish.
That's, yeah. I'm like, wait, burning the menorah. Like,
Yeah.
No. The made of hay. The
hay stacks.
Like a scarecrow
Table.
kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be like nice and beautiful.
Effigy.
Effigy.
That's it.
Thank you.
Effigy.
Burning the effigy of winter.
Yeah.
And this is also called the pancake week. So you're supposed to be eating pancakes all week.
When is it going to be exactly?
I have no idea because it's different every year.
Oh.
So it's right before the start of the Great Lent. So it's usually around March. So, but it's different every year.
I see. So
Well, I
it's
know in
really-
France they have Mardi Gras, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Fat Tuesday.
Ma-
Yeah.
Mardi Gras.
No, I don't know this one.
Well,
It's like a pancake day.
in New Orleans, in Louisiana.
It's
in
again
the
like
States.
like Vanya
Yeah.
said New Orleans. I'm like Nola. But yeah,
Yeah.
it is a thing over there.
Well, yeah, of course, New Orleans having the
Yeah.
French traditions. So yeah, like this pancake day, I think it's in February.
Mm.
Fat
For us,
Tuesday.
for us in January 12th. Yeah, January 12th, we have Nair. We call it Nair. Nair, it's an abbreviation of January. And it's a special celebration, like Amazigh celebration, not Arab, where we buy a lot of dry food and a lot of beans, like dry food, dry fruits, dry food. And I don't know, the celebration is like this to celebrate a warrior in the past who saved his soldiers by giving them those like dry food, like food and fruits. Yeah. But it's very famous and important in my country. It has a historical background.
Do you
which is
eat a
long.
lot of dates
Yeah.
on these
especially in
traditions, yeah?
Ramadan. In
Nice.
Ramadan, we do it a lot.
Yes, of course. Ramadan. Yes, So do you participate every year in Ramadan?
For me,
Yeah.
actually, I can't because I have diabetes.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that could be dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. I really admire Muslims who do
Yeah.
that because it takes a
Really,
lot of effort.
I have seen some really extreme stuff. Like, for example, you know that my city is very hot in the summer, and
I can't believe how they
we
do
have
it.
the Hijri calendar, and it differs. Like, we have a special month which is called Ramadan, and sometimes it differs from the normal calendar, the Gregorian calendar. So sometimes Ramadan can happen during summer.
Oh.
And I have seen with my eyes people working like under the sun, not drinking a drop of water
It's incredible. Yeah.
from sunrise to sunset, and they don't feel tired. They don't feel like they are used to it.
Well, I heard that it takes some time to get used to, but I remember, I think last year it was in the summer. And the thing is that in Novosibirsk in the summer, the sunset is at 11 p.m., but the sunrise is at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. So you only get 3-4 hours. That's all.
Yeah, that's actually
was
comfortable
tough.
for Muslims if they want to celebrate it here.
No, on the contrary, it's 4 hours.
4 hours of sun.
No, of sun not being up. The sunrise in the summer is at 4 a.m.
Wow.
But the sunset is at 11 p.m. So you only get 4 hours when you can eat.
There
It
is
was tough.
there is something like there is a rule about this. If, for example, let's say if I go to one place, there are actually some places on our planet, where there is no like sunlight for maybe 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
So in case something like this happens, we need to follow Mecca's time.
Mm-hmm.
For example, in this case, if you see like it's something like crazy, like you cannot do it, you have to follow Mecca's time.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So you fast for some time and
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I really admire people who do Ramadan properly. Well, I've also heard stories of people in Dubai not going to sleep at day and staying awake at night, so they don't have to, so they can just eat all night. And then
that's not called fasting. It's not,
it's a cheat.
That's cheating.
Yeah, it's very cheeky.
I think also Jewish people do it, right?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't come from a religious family, so I'm actually not the best authority on Jewish traditions. But we do have, of course, several really important traditions, including Rosh Hashanah, which is the New Year, Yom Kippur,
sweet New Year.
Exactly, Passover, which Jews call Pesach. Yeah, and of course we have Hanukkah, which is the very famous Jewish tradition with a menorah, which is a candle, 8 candles in one. Sorry, 9 candles in one. And that festival is dedicated to the temple. So read about it on the internet. I'm not a huge source of knowledge about my heritage, unfortunately.
It's supposed to designate that they went without oil and bread or something.
But the oil lasted for
8 days.
8 days, exactly. So, yes. And also, America, I guess, speaking about traditions, 4th of July. So do you celebrate the 4th? Do you celebrate the 4th of July?
Yeah, Independence Day, that would be with the fireworks, and people have barbecues and parades and things like that.
Well, when you're here in Russia, do you celebrate it or not really?
I'm not on any calendar. I wake up and go, I think it was Christmas yesterday, or I don't know what day it is.
Ours is on the 5th of July.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, 4th, 5th.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But when did Algeria gain?
1962.
Oh, so relatively recently from the French, yeah.
And the colonization lasted for 1 century and 31 years.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that must be quite, is it a big celebration or is it just a small thing?
It's a national celebration. People do it outside. We have a holiday on that day. People go and celebrate, of course. But for me, I was never into such things. Just a day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 4th of July, 5th of July, 5th of July.
What about Russia? Do you have an Independence Day, something like
Independence from what exactly would that be?
Well, I guess you have Victory Day.
Well, we have
Victory Day.
We do have Victory Day. Yes, that's true. The 9th of May, which is a big day for Russia. Well, it is a big day for the world, basically. But we have the Day of Russia, which is the 12th of June, and everyone's like, okay, fine. We also have the Day of, what is it called? The Day of National Unity.
Yes.
We have like more than 190
Is that the 12th of December?
It is the 4th of November.
Oh, okay.
The 12th of December is the day of the Constitution. Haha, funny.
Yes.
Because it has no validity. Anywho, we're not getting into it right now. So yeah, that's why we don't have that many celebrations, I'd say.
What about what happened in St. Petersburg? I really admire the people there. They were like engulfed with the enemy, German.
Yeah, the siege.
And they had hunger and everything.
300 days.
900 days.
900 days siege.
And I really admired that story, really. People they refused to go out from there. Like they wanted to defend their territory.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go to St. Petersburg, a lot of those buildings are new. I mean, because St. Petersburg was destroyed in the siege.
But do you have like celebration about it? Something like this? No?
Well, I would say they know the date in St. P, but the rest of Russia actually not really, which is sad.
Yeah.
I think something like this should be like memorable.
Yeah.
At least, to honor it.
Well, guys, let us know about your favorite traditions, your favorite ceremonies. If you have any stories of any parties that you went to, Let us know. Practice your English writing skills. And also don't forget to check out the vocabulary list, which accompanies this after show portion. So see you soon. Thank you very much for sticking to the end, and see you next time.
See you guys.
Around.